So today's video is gonna be about comparison and change. Comparison is the thief of joy. We are comparing somebody else's highest to our lowest, because nobody really shows their lowest. We are comparing our behind the scenes with somebody else's highlight reel, and that's an unfair comparison, and a result we always come off bad. It's a short recipe in dropping self-confidence and motivation. Even if we win that comparison with somebody else, that's a short-term boost of ego that is really easily knocked down. We might end up talking about our accomplishments more than is necessary, and nobody really appreciates that. We sometimes even hate others for doing well without really knowing the true person. I think it's natural to compare ourselves with others, but it usually makes us unhappy even if we have enough and we should be happy with it. Let's focus on what we do have, on what we are already blessed with. Let's think about how lucky we are to have the people around us that care about us, to be alive even. If we commit ourselves to being deeply grateful about what's good in our lives, we then will be much less vulnerable to jealousy and comparisons. Be okay with imperfection. Nobody is perfect. We all know that, but we feel bad when we don't reach perfection. You are not perfect, and you will never be perfect. I'm certainly not perfect, and I've learned to be okay with that. Sure, keep trying to reach your full potential, but don't think that you will ever be the perfect person, the perfect police officer, or the perfect music artist. If we look at it in a different way, imperfection is what makes us who we are, what differentiates us from everybody else. Don't focus on how you rank in comparison to others. Life is not a competition, it's a journey. That journey has nothing to do with how well the other person is doing, but it has everything to do with what we want to create and who we want to inspire. That's all we need to worry about. We should not focus on being superior to the people around us, but we should focus on being superior to our former self. We should only use comparison as motivation, to improve what actually matters. We should only use comparison to be a better person, and maybe even make our little corner of the world a better place. We should only look up to other people and use their accomplishments for our own success. That human tendency to want what other people are having is such a waste of time, unless what we see in other people and what we desire is something much deeper, like their generosity or kindness. It's important to look at our strengths and see our true value. It's actually one of the keys to success, to believe in ourselves. So focus on your strengths instead of looking down at your weaknesses. Be proud of them and use them to your best advantage. Start new goals and make change. Change is the only constant thing in life. 2020 showed us that change is unavoidable. Whatever feels stable around us can be taken away at any moment. Why not be the ones that made that change in our lives, instead of waiting around until change happens? Sometimes it feels impossible to make a big change and start a new journey, but change will always happen. Be the one that took that first step. We can't choose to go back in the past, but we can choose to learn from it and move forward. If we never try, if we never take that first step towards something that we love, we will probably always wonder what we are missing on. If we decide to make that first step, now there's a whole new mountain that we have to climb, and that's scary. There's a lot of answers that we don't have, and there's a lot of questions that we don't have. But we will figure everything out as we go. So take that first step, and remember, rest in the end and not in the middle.
Mm-hmm.